starts right now on KDWB.
Of all the ways people have been caught on War of the Roses, this is a new one on me. I've never heard this one before, and I don't know the whole story, Jenny.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a novel way that somebody got caught. But let's start at the beginning, which is always a great place to start, with Quinn on War of the Roses. Good morning, Quinn.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Well, we're doing probably a little bit better than you, but thanks for asking. What happened with Sam the other day that made you say you're going to call the station and be on War of the Roses?
Yeah, sure. All right. So I was working the other day, and my boss let me go home early. So I called Sam when I was on my way home, and he didn't answer.
So you call him and say, I got off early, but he doesn't answer the phone.
Exactly, yes.
Okay,
He
all right.
doesn't answer the phone. I just want to let him know, ask him, like, what he wants, if he wants to go to lunch or, you know, if he wants me to make him something. But anyway, he didn't answer. And I walk in, and I literally heard the back sliding glass door shut. And all of a sudden, he comes out of the bedroom looking like a deer in headlights, and he's like, "What are you doing home?"
Okay, so it feels like, and I don't mean to laugh, it sounded like somebody sneaked out the back door. Did you say he came out of the bedroom?
He came out of the bedroom, but I swear when I walked in, I heard that glass door.
Because you can hear it in your mind what a glass door sounds like. It's like clunk.
Right. But you didn't see anything, right? You just heard something.
Like, I know it wasn't a squirrel.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
So he's like, "What are you doing home?" And I was like, "I told you that Jimmy gave me the rest of the day off. What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing. I was just playing a video game and you scared me."
Okay.
And I said, "I heard the door close. Was someone here?" And he said, "No, like, seriously, you were hearing things." So, like, later that night, I'm a little spooked, and I don't know what to think about it, but I'm like, okay, whatever. He's making me feel like I'm crazy. But anyway, later that night, I saw him bending over, picking up some corn nuts he just dropped on the living room floor when he bent over.
Okay.
Like, when he bent over, I saw that his underwear was inside out. Like, hello, fruit of the loom, right in my face.
Okay, so you could see, I don't think they put a tag in anymore. They like print the underwear label on the back, but you could tell his underwear was inside out. You could see the label on the back of his underwear. They're inside out.
Sir.
Well, guys sometimes do that. I mean, I don't. I absolutely don't. But does Sam ever put his underwear inside out?
It was clear as day. It was backwards, okay? It was inside out.
But he never does that.
He never does that. It's not like him at all.
Okay.
And
so that makes you think what actually happened.
it makes me think that, I don't know, like, that he rushed to put his underwear on in a rush, and someone was going out the back door, and I don't know.
No, I get it. I mean, you can picture this scene. He hears you pull up. He's like, oh, my gosh, other person. Quinn is home. You need to leave. You can't go out the front door. Rush out the back door. But you didn't see a car. Was there maybe a car parked down the block or across the street or anything?
You know, I wasn't even really paying attention.
Yeah. Why would
you?
Why would you, right? Yeah.
You know, I know that there was no one in front of my house. Like, I parked in my driveway like I always do. So, I mean, it was nothing out of the norm.
Okay, so we're thinking he had somebody over. They ran out the back door. He's scrambling, putting his clothes on, gets his underpants off the floor, puts them on inside out, doesn't even think about it, gets his pants on, makes it just in the nick of time, comes out, and there you are.
Exactly.
All right.
That's it.
All right. We can try to get to the bottom of this by calling him on War of the Roses and, telling him, hey, we want to send flowers. Who do you want to send flowers to? And see if he picks you. Your name is Quinn. That's an easy name to remember. We'll take a break. We'll come back and see what he does on War of the Roses. Then we'll talk to Jonathan Fogel from Fogel Family Law to get his take on things as well.
And now, the dramatic conclusion of War of the Roses. Well, a girl can hope. 101.3 KDWB.
Back for part 2 of War of the Roses. So let me kind of recap for you, and
Okay.
you can help me out here.
Yep.
So Quinn gets off early from work the other day.
Yeah, which
She
is
comes
nice.
home, but on the way home, she calls her boyfriend Sam, says, hey, I'm on the way home. Want me to pick up Chick-fil-A or whatever it was? And he doesn't answer the phone.
Right. So she gets home and she walks in and she hears a noise thinking that someone was rushing out of the backsliding door.
Yep.
She didn't see anyone, but she heard this noise feeling like someone just rushed out of the house.
He comes out of the bedroom looking kind of breathless and thinks he said it like a deer in headlights, like he'd been caught. What are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, her boss let her off early. Was somebody here? And he's like,
No, I was playing video games. I don't know what you're talking about.
But then later that night, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at this part. He is bending over, picking up corn nuts off the floor that he had spilled. And I'm curious what flavor. I'm picturing barbecue, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And his underpants are on inside out. She sees the label sticking up above the top of his pants. And she's like, you were in a rush to put your underwear on. You had somebody over here.
Which I will say, personally, I have put my underwear on backwards before, not
Oh,
because of having someone else over, just
Okay.
because I did.
Let's find out. We're going to make the phone call to Sam and see who he sends the roses to.
Thanks so much for taking that time to do that with me today, Sam. Like I said, I do have a dozen roses to send to whoever you'd like. All I need from you is the name of whoever you'd like to send those to.
Okay. Quinn.
Perfect. And we do give the option of if you want to send a note with the roses. So would you like to do that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. All I need is whatever you'd like to put on that note.
Here are some flowers to make up for getting your birthday. Sorry, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, that's not
Good.
particularly romantic. Did he forget your birthday, Quinn? Quinn's on the phone. There's a lot of surprises coming up here. Quinn is on the phone.
Yes. He doesn't think about me. He doesn't consider my feelings at all.
So
And
he forgot. So let me explain what's going on here, Sam. It's the Dave Ryan Show from KWB. We're calling to set a little trap to see who would send flowers to. You did send flowers. You sent flowers to Quinn, which is good news, but that was not the most romantic note of all time.
Not really, no.
And you forgot her birthday. But she was worried because the other day she came home and heard somebody leaving through the sliding glass door. And then later that night, your underwear was turned inside out. So she was thinking that you had somebody over at the house when she came home. And then you put your underwear on really quick while they sneaked out the back door. Any truth to that?
No, there's no truth to that. She makes a big deal out of everything, so I don't know. She just needs to calm down.
calm down. I hate when you tell me to calm down.
Well, I don't know what you... like, this isn't fair to me either. Like, I don't know why you're doing this.
Because you gaslight me.
Whatever.
What about that card, though? The card that said, here are some flowers to make up for missing your birthday. Sorry, I guess. I got to tell you, can I just be real? Can I be real honest with you?
Tell me.
Let me be real honest. Jonathan, I'm going to be real honest because I'm a transparent person except for all of my secrets that I keep, okay? Can I tell you my interpretation? Anybody who's bending over, picking up corn nuts off the floor is trash. Now, I don't mean to be that judgy.
Bold
and
statement.
I'm just saying corn nuts are delicious, but they are besides bugles, they are the trashiest snack food there is. Jonathan, what would a lawyer say about that?
Well, first of all, I would just skip the underwear completely. Just don't put it on, because then you're not going to get caught.
Okay, good. Jonathan's learned a lot in his years as an attorney.
Although that was my personal experience. Oh, wait a second. No.
Somebody else.
That's an attorney.
What about corn nuts, Jenny? Is that the trashiest snack there is?
I don't think it is. And you just admitted earlier that you like the barbecue ones or something.
Oh, I do like them, but I'm trash.
Well, right. Oh,
You're
are
forgetting.
not.
No, I am trash.
But
I dress nice, but I'm
feel
trash.
Like corn nuts are your classic road trip snack. So I can't.
No.
I just feel like you can't generalize that.
Send me a text and let me know whether corn nuts are a trash snack. They are. That and combos. Anything that you can get at a gas station is a trash snack. How are you, Jonathan?
I'm doing fantastic. You're making me hungry, though. I'm going to go get some candy corn because I think that's right up there.
Oh, that's a trash one, too. I'm going to read some text messages. This guy is a D-bag. Another one says, this girl needs to run. He is 100% cheating on her, and she deserves so much better. Clearly a toxic relationship. Quinn sounds like a whiny baby. She got to go.
Someone else has dumped this rat.
Gaslighting 101. Wow. She says he gaslights all the time. There's a bunch of people that don't like really either of them. Jonathan Fogel is a family attorney. He's been doing it for a very long time. What were you thinking when you heard War of the Roses this morning, Jonathan?
Well, I mean, this was a new one for me. I mean, the sliding glass door, the underwear on backwards, this guy's a mess. I think it's time for her to run for sure. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely gaslighting. But here's the thing. I know I tend to do this sometimes because I want to make a hard right turn and talk about Halloween. I know it's coming up, and that's how So I get calls sometimes. You're like, Jonathan, that had nothing to do with what they were talking about. I'm like, no, but there's important stuff here.
I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
So I'll tell you a sad story, then I'm going to tell you ways that people can fix this, right? So there was a mom who had the child during the day of Halloween, right? And at school, this is when they used to have like costume parties and Halloween parties at school, which I don't think they do a lot anymore. But it was Dad's year to have the child for trick-or-treating that night. Well, the child had a Halloween party at school. Mom brings the costume for the child so the child could have that at school. But then she took it back with her so Dad could not have it when they went trick-or-treating that night.
Oh.
And, of course, the person that suffers isn't Dad, it's the child. And it's one of those classic examples that I always say is that you've got to love your kid more than you hate your ex.
You've said that before. So the kid didn't have a Halloween costume because somebody was trying to spite the other parent.
Yeah. It was terrible, and
is terrible.
It's such an easy thing to avoid. But some people, when they're going through this, they're just angry, and they'll do anything to make the other person feel bad when they don't realize that they're hurting the child more than they're hurting anybody else.
Absolutely, got to keep that in mind. I do know parents that do that. So, okay. Anything else on Halloween? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have a few tips for sharing Halloween, right? So Halloween's coming up next week. It's a holiday that kids love. People that are divorced, they have to share it somehow. So I have 5 tips that'll help.
Okay.
1, remember the kids love Halloween, and it's time to put your feelings aside. It's probably one of their favorite holidays.
Absolutely.
So make sure that they enjoy it.
Okay.
Number 2, like I just said, share the costume. Don't say, well, I bought this costume, you can't have it. Oh. It's the kid's costume, not yours.
Terrible.
3, take lots of pictures and share them with your ex, right? Because I know when my kids were young, we got divorced when they were still enjoying Halloween. I made sure that I took pictures, and their mom made sure they took pictures. She took pictures and sent them to me because it's important.
Don't a lot of couples get along better? They actually are better friends than they were spouses. So if they're married for 14 years, they have a couple of kids, they get divorced. There are ones who just take swipes at each other. I know a couple of people right now, they take swipes at each other any chance they get. But I also know some who are they're better friends than they ever were married partners.
Yes, I agree with you. And, my kid's mom and I over the years have become much better friends and working together. Our kids are now out of high school, out of college. And, it makes it so much easier the further it gets away. But, yeah, it can strengthen that friendship as well.
Okay. All right. More tips on Halloween.
Yeah. Number 4, go together if it's possible. Going back to what you said, if you can still get together and you can still do that, maybe not the first year, but if you can, that's great because it shows your kids you both love them, right?
Okay, good. Yeah, why not?
And 5, maybe the most important, send candy to the other house. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so...
because look, I want to make sure that if my kids aren't with me at Halloween, that I get some of that candy.
Okay, so you're saying what, if your kid brings a lot of candy home, then let them go to mom's house with some of that candy?
Yeah, what I'm saying, I'm more talking about from a personal preference. I want the candy.
Okay, gotcha,
so make sure
of course.
You send it to me.
Okay. Find Jonathan online, FogelFamilyLaw.com, Fogel, FogelFamilyLaw.com. We're hitting all angles this morning, Jonathan. We got a family attorney on to answer those questions. Jonathan will do it for a free consultation. Then we have psychic Gary Spivey coming on another 10 minutes to answer relationship, work, ghostly questions, things like that. And Jonathan, if you want to hold on to ask Gary any questions, I'll put you on hold, okay?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Get a hold of Jonathan. Go
I'll
ahead.
definitely be listening. I'll tell you that.
I know you love Gary Spivey. He'll be on in a couple of minutes. Jonathan, give me your phone number in case I want to call you.
You got it. It's 612-822-6244.
Okay, thank you very much. Find Jonathan online at FogelFamilyLaw.com.